So this is a difficult video, isn't it? When should you actually quit trading? I was talking to a trader about this subject just recently at a conference, and because she was sort of implying, well, if I give it like 6 months and I'm still not profitable, I think I'll just quit. And yet, we all know that trading can take quite a long time. It's not that you're just going to lose money for 2 years solid or 3 years solid. It could be that your trading is just very sideways. Your overall returns, you're not really making anything, but you're not really losing much either once you get to a certain stage. But that doesn't mean to say you should quit. So when should you quit? Right, well, let's talk about this a little bit. The amount of traders that I've met over the years who will say, do you know what, I didn't turn a corner until I was about 4 or 5 years into my trading. Very, very common. Now, it doesn't mean to say that they've not had profitable periods and been profitable within that time, but they didn't feel like they really got it all and nailed all of the elements off as far as feeling experienced as a trader, because you can be profitable after a year or two, but would you call yourself an experienced trader at that point? Well, you're building experience, but you're not a highly experienced trader, 2 years into your trading. So it's degrees of. So my advice, generally speaking, would be every trader should give it 4 to 5 years, because you can't possibly expect to be an expert in 6 months. Forget what social media tell you. Some of the world's best traders and fund managers, some of them, if you read the original Market Wizards, some of them, it took them 10 years to become overall profitable and where everything clicked and everything else. So again, in the modern world that we're in, people are like, I can't possibly wait for 10 years. All right, fair enough, but I do think you should give it 4 to 5 years. If you've given it 4 to 5 years and you are constantly losing money, then something possibly is wrong that you might need tweaking. Or you get to a point and you say, yeah, do you know what, I'll quit. And certainly I think that sometimes people who gamble in the markets should quit. If they're just gambling, then yes, they should do. But if you're following the rules and your risk management is fine and all of that, I think realistically you need to give it 4 to 5 years. Now, trading can't be for everybody. A bit like you might say, well, I want to learn to be an 800-meter runner. Well, you can go through all of the training to become an 800-meter runner, but it doesn't mean to say that you're going to be a great 800-meter runner just because you've done all the training. So, or you might get to a point where you say, do you know what, I just don't like it. I prefer playing golf. So you go off and play golf instead. So I do think that you need to give it enough time in order to try and overcome all of the hurdles that you're going to have as a trader, whatever they may be, finding a strategy. But more important than that is developing your trader mind as well, overcoming your personal obstacles, whether they're fear-based or greed-based. And all of that takes time. You can't read a book and just then turn that on in the space of a week. Because you can learn this stuff, then it takes time to apply these mindset techniques, and there's no substitute for time in that regard. So overall, my point is you'd probably need to give it 4 to 5 years. And then you're in a position to say whether you want to keep going, which a lot of people do, because once they're 4 or 5 years in, well, they're passionate about the markets. They enjoy the mental challenge of the markets as well by then. And then it might take another trader 6 years or whatever. Now, other traders, it might take a lot less time. But that's the personal journey that you need to allow for yourself. And certainly, like I've said, for some people, you may just get to a point and you say, do you know what, I don't even enjoy this. And I think, coming back to what I've just said, if you're not passionate about the markets, you might as well quit. Because you need to have passion for trading in order to keep going when the market is kicking you in the teeth, because it doesn't matter who you are as a trader, there are going to be points where the market's going to frustrate you. You can have a series of stop outs or whatever, or a drawdown period, and you've got to love all aspects of trading, including losing periods as well. So, and that comes from passion. But if you don't have passion for trading, or develop that passion for trading, you might as well quit even. And there you go. So that's my general advice for the markets. You've got to be passionate in order to keep going. But I think for most people, they should give themselves a good few years of trial and error before they even put themselves in that situation to decide whether it's right to continue or not. But for those people who do get to 4 or 5 years, I'd like to think most of them by that point have developed a passion for trading and a hunger to keep going. Because as I've said, the amount of traders I've met over the years who have said, yeah, it took me 4 years, 5 years, 6 years or more before I felt that I'd found my own path as a trader. So don't quit. But if you don't like trading, and if it's just about the money, then it's probably not for you. You've got to love all aspects. Talking of which, got a little message coming up for you next.
The process wins. Every great trader follows a process: analysis, execution, and review. We'll teach you that exact structure in the workshop. Stop chasing trades, start following your process. Visit protradingworkshop.com to get started.